భారత్, ఆఫ్ఘనిస్తాన్ రెండు దేశాల మధ్య ఉన్న బంధం చారిత్రాత్మకమైనది. ఆఫ్ఘన్లో సాల్మా డ్యాం నిర్మాణం, పార్లమెంట్ భవన నిర్మాణం లాంటి ఎన్నో అభివృద్ధి కార్యక్రమాల్లో భారత్ భాగస్వామ్యం ఉంది. ఉగ్రవాద సమస్యను భారత్ లాగే ఆఫ్ఘనిస్తాన్ కూడా తీవ్రంగా ఎదుర్కొంటోంది. ఈ విషయంలో భారత్తో కలిసి ఉమ్మడి పోరుకు కూడా ఆఫ్ఘనిస్తాన్ ముందుంది. రెండు దేశాల మధ్య స్నేహపూర్వకమైన ఒప్పందాలు కూడా జరిగాయి. ఈ నేపథ్యంలో ఆఫ్ఘనిస్తాన్ కౌంటర్ నార్కోటిక్స్ మినిస్టర్ జావేద్ అహ్మద్ భారత్లో పర్యటించారు. హైదరాబాద్ హెచ్సియులో సస్టైనబుల్ రూరల్ డెవలప్మెంట్లో పీజీ డిప్లొమా పట్టా పొందిన జావేద్ అహ్మద్ ఆఫ్ఘాన్ మంత్రిగా సేవలందిస్తున్నారు. భారత్తో, హైదరాబాద్తో తనకున్న అనుబంధాన్ని గుర్తు చేసుకున్నారు. ఈ సందర్భంగా డాక్టర్ వ్యాకరణం నాగేశ్వర్ భారత్ టుడే తరపున ఆయనతో ప్రత్యేక ఇంటర్వ్యూ నిర్వహించారు. భారత్, ఆఫ్ఘనిస్తాన్ మధ్య ద్వైపాక్షిక సంబంధాలు, ఇతర సమస్యలు, పరిష్కారాలపై ఆఫ్ఘనిస్తాన్ మంత్రి జావేద్ అహ్మద్ ఏమన్నారో ఆయన మాటల్లోనే విందాం.
With respect to the India-Afghan relationships, there was a very good leap when there was a Salma Dam project which has been initiated by the government of India. In fact, when we look towards Afghanistan, we always look towards a country which is more familiar, more culturally close, a kind of a friendship nation. Now, this is what being the perspective from people in the government of India. What do you feel after the initiation of a Salma Dam? And I would also like to know from you, what else are really the things to be done, what the government or the people are expecting from India?
Thank you very much. First of all, thank you for the chance and for the interview. It's been great being here. It's been an honor. Let me just add to that. It's not only the Salma Dam, it was the Parliament building. In the same 2 months. After that, there were 500 to 1,000 scholarships at the same time announced. So there were 3 big projects announced, completed, and the one announced. The perspective from the government of Afghanistan and the people of Afghanistan is the same, replication of the Indian government and people. We believe as people that India has been a great neighbor, a culturally close friend, and a politically close friend for hundreds of years now. People feel it the same, government feel it the same, and all these projects we believe is the goodwill of India toward the building of the infrastructure of Afghanistan and the political stability of Afghanistan and having a prosperous and developed country. So in that sense, what India has been doing so far and what is doing now is greatly appreciated by the government of Afghanistan and by the people of Afghanistan. On behalf of the people and on behalf of the government, I can confidently say that what has been done in the past decade or 15 years recently, if we continue on that path, this friendship will grow, and I hope it will grow stronger and stronger and will test the time.
Great, so nice about it. Sir, I would like to take upon the views on an area which belongs to your purview. You belong to the anti-narcotics division. So, coming to the India as a subcontinent, the government is very clear about how much of heroin, poppy and other things are coming into the India and what is the consumption of this. Now, when you look at the global perspective, Afghanistan plays a very pivot role in such kind of narcotic products. And our concern in India, as far as Indian youth are concerned, which is more towards the Punjab region of India, where in which we have got a lot of reports coming up where such kind of narcotic products have been, freely available to the youngsters also. Now, with that perspective, that's a point of concern for you and also a point of concern for Indian government and people as well. So, how can we really take this ahead to put a check to such a kind of illegal trade of poppy and narcotic products, so that a real mutual bilateral relationship in a strict sense can prevail to prevent an illegal entry of such kind of products?
Thank you. It's such a great question. The fight against narcotics has, if I can call it, 3 layers. It's the national layer that we have to do it there. It's the regional layer that we all have to do it, and then international level. For international layer, that the international community has to be responsibly doing the fight. I will talk about the regional now, but we are talking about that. Afghanistan has started some initiatives, we call it trilateral and then multilateral, where we wanted to include Pakistan, Iran, Uzbekistan, Russia, to at least start changing the information and doing certain operations together. Because we believe this is a common threat, it's a common problem, and we have to be commonly responsible for that and respond to that. Unfortunately, some of our neighbors, and specifically Pakistan, was not that much helpful, as much as we would have liked them to be. We even called them for meetings to come, for trilateral meetings in Kabul. None of the representatives come. So there has been that lack of cooperation, which we believe is very needed. Now, specifically coming to India, we were lucky that we had talked with the Indian embassy in Kabul, and we shared our concerns, and there were different areas that India could help. It's the treatment area where we have a lot of addicts that would like to need India's help on that, because they have good experience on that. It's been the part of the police and how to deal with that, and training the police and the equipments and all of that. And it's also more than that, in the survey and the statistics of that, which India has great IT expertise and GIS expertise and all those type of things, satellite imagery. Luckily, the proposal was accepted by the embassy, and since the embassy itself didn't have all the expertise, so it was decided that a high-level delegation, probably in a month or two, will come to India from Afghanistan, either headed by myself or by our minister, and we will look into different institutes, police, we will look into health systems, and also the satellite imagery, and we will have different MOUs with all these institutes. To build on that, then we'll start our cooperation more closely. Now, because I was in Hyderabad, talking about Hyderabad specifically in 2008 or 9, and I was very impressed with the inclusion of IT in the policing system here. And the start of that in the overall rule of law, and then especially in policing system. Which is, I think, of a great help, that if we can learn that, replicate that in Afghanistan, and I'll be interested to talk to the embassy when our team comes, so they also prepare a visit to Hyderabad, so we talk to the police staff here, or the higher officials of police here, and see what we can learn, what they can help us with, of inclusion of IT and the recent technologies into the policing, because that's what is now needed if we really want to control it.
There's yet another area which is a really point of concern, with not respect to India alone. I seriously trust Afghan is also going to tough roles because of the word, the ghost, the fear, the terrorism.
Yeah.
Now, when we talk about it, we always look into a better place to live, a better tomorrow for the younger generations. Every step a government takes, either it is Afghan government, or it be Indian government, or irrespective of the governments, we expect a safer tomorrow for our younger generations to come. In that broad perspective, even recently we have seen the UN, they have put Russia and other countries have come forward to put some of these terrorist groups into DDST groups. Of course, Afghanistan was not there at the time, but still, we would be more than happy to get the kind of advice from you of your thought process of the real terror problem of the world, with perspective in the Asian subcontinent, involving India, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. Because as of now, we feel terror of any type is dangerous. So we want a peaceful tomorrow. So what is your take on it?
Thank you. I'll answer the last part of your question first. The setting that was conducted in Russia, there was an official statement by the government as well. We were not very comfortable with that setting, because we were not part of that. Any settlement, any resolution, or anything we are talking about, Taliban or anything like that, terrorism in response to Afghanistan's problem, Afghanistan as a sovereign country has to be part of it. Without Afghanistan government being part of that, we don't see any other way. So we had our official statement as well, and what the setting was, we don't know. We don't know why that happened, but it was just between three countries and in discussion. So at least as a government perspective, we are not very comfortable with such types of things. Now, the overall problem, we have said that many times in the last decade, that many of these terrorists, especially Taliban, their safe havens are in the neighboring country, in Pakistan. And they have to step up that more and in real terms do something to take those guys out of there, and really be helpful in that, the way they are saying it. Recently, it has been acknowledged by a lot of international friends as well. And though yesterday India's proposal to the UN was not accepted to call that as a more terrorist and have sanctions, which I hope at least it was a start of something to talk to to that country. And I don't think the people there also are very happy with that. It's just a matter of some people's interest, the way it happens, and they believe their interest lies in having those terrorist groups as their proxies. As far as it's our concern, we are against any terrorist activity. We believe India has been helping us quite tirelessly in this effort, and we expect Pakistan to help in the same, and eliminate any type of terrorism that at least we believe is on the.
Thank you so much for answering that such a critical question. But yet another sub-question of the same major question is, when we look at the perspective from India, one thing is a common man is unable to understand one fundamental thing. Irrespective of XYZ religion the terrorism is naming, as a common man feels that no religion teaches hatred and mass murders. A common man in India feels that what is the real problem with Pakistan and Afghanistan, and why India should not be a happy neighboring country. To come forward with Afghanistan to join hands with India and to go ahead, what is really stopping? What is the role of Pakistan in such a kind of deals? Why I'm asking you this question is, let me put it very frank to you. The two Islamic nations with good trust factor, what is the real problem? Why can't a solution of peace come upon?
That's, I think, a very interesting question. And let me tell you the perspective that we also have there, the common people have, the common person has, is that what's the problem between India and Pakistan, that they're not coming into terms. And that is causing a lot there back at our house. So the way it is, I think it's more of a triangle there. It's not that we have a lot of problems with Pakistan, it's also what India has with Pakistan, and a lot of that comes into play, that all that happens back in our doorsteps as well. What the perspective of some at least were very vocal from Pakistan's perspective was that they are helping certain ethnicities and all that for that fight, which is not true, because all of our ethnicities have a place there. It's also that they claim sometimes that it's their national interest to have at least a friendly government, and which we proved, at least at the beginning of this government, that we are a very friendly government to them, as long as they don't use proxies against the government. More than that, I don't see anything else, except because it's a triangle. It's not only between us and them, it's also India and Pakistan, and what is there. The problems that could not be solved, and then it comes down to our house.
So can I put it in the same way as what your words mean? Like, if you want a peace in Asia, the major three components are Pakistan, Afghanistan, and India. So that's any table involved in such a kind of peaceful tomorrow should involve these three nations. You're very nice. I should thank you for such a kind of a frank answer, because India always feels that they are always for peace. What is the problem? We really don't know why the things are going back. One more question, sir. As a common man perspective, if suppose, as a part of medical tourism or a natural tourism, what is your relation with India? And what is your intensity of travel towards Pakistan as a common man perspective? I want my people of the country to know how intimately we are twined with Afghan, because when we look back into our ancestral auntie Kandahar and Gandhari, Queen of Mahabharata, which hails from Kandahar. India always looks Kandahar as a place of our cousins. You are our brother. This is how the people look at it.
Yeah.
So, what is your message? Like, how are you looking at when you sit in the chair of an administration there, with Pakistan and India? How are you looking at the people's perspective and how they are coming, how they are viewing it?
For a common man, these two countries, especially as medical tourism, are the two destinations for all people to go. Now, in the last 10 years, it has been used rigorously for both destinations. But in the last years, where we had these problems with the refugees, and then the problems of police harassing people in Pakistan especially. I believe that caused a lot the common people not to go there, even for medical purposes. But on the other hand, in India, I think the facilities have started to open up. We used to have even like the visas were single entry, and now they have managed to have multi-entry or even 3 times entry, 6 months visas to have it a more common or more open going back and forth. And then inside the hospitals, the support that they get, and on the streets, at least if not the support, there's no harassment. Not a problem of that. So from that perspective, I think India has becoming of a more friendly destination for medical purposes for Afghans who can afford it. Definitely it's because of the air travel that sometimes it may cause them. But one of the indicators, even that could be, though we have land road to Pakistan and people will be traveling, but if you see there are every day a couple of flights or more than that to India. To Pakistan, I think weekly we have a flight. It just sees how much people go back and forth, and most of them would be patients or traders that come. So in that sense, I believe it's not only the government to government, but people to people relationship that has grown more, has grown more healthier, and people have more trust being here than when you go somewhere else.
Okay. A final question, this is a message when you sit in the chair of an administration. A final feedback from your side, from your people towards you, and an answer from you we expect. Top 3 major things which you want the country, India, to do, which will boost the bilateral relations government-wise and people-to-people relationships. Can I get those top 3 points?
I think what they've been doing in the past, and I'll focus them again. The first thing is the education. We really need that, and India has been the biggest player in that the last decade, providing full scholarships, half scholarships, or at least the chances for students to come every year, 500,000 and more than that, which has been great. And I would urge the Indian government and even state level governments to do that as much as they can, because that is a big factor. When people stay here for a couple of years or 4 years for bachelors, they grow friendships, they go back, they learn, and it makes us stronger and stronger. Second thing, what India has been doing is big infrastructure, and that really is affecting the minds and the country as an overall as economy. And I would help on behalf of the people and the government of Afghanistan that India keeps that. Projects like the Parliament building or like the Salma and all that. And the last thing I would mention is the position that India, Pakistan now has to terrorism. As long as they keep the same position, I hope one day the world will also realize it.
Pretty good. Before we wind off, I'd like, majority of the Indians have a gut feeling that if suppose a common man feels that now, come on, I want to go and see Kandahar, where my Gandhari came from, and it's a part of a Ramayana circuit or Mahabharata circuit from government of India, how would it be on the part of the Afghanistan to invite such a kind of a tourism in which they wanted to visit, maybe there or may not be there, but it's a gut feeling that we belong to you and you belong to us. If a common man wants to come and visit in that Ramayana or Mahabharata circuit, how do you look at it?
Not only for that, any Indian is welcome even to come and taste the real dry fruit there, which we are very famous for. And I think people are very hospitable, people are very much in a position to welcome Indians coming there, visiting sites, going all around the country wherever they want, especially in the areas where we have air transport, where airlines are available. The only thing, definitely, security is a problem, and that's a problem for a common man for Afghanistan, and it would be a problem for Indians or anyone traveling. Except that, as a common man, I have no doubt that people would even give a place for these type of travelers from India their own houses.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks for
Thank you very much.